Good evening and welcome to another Omega Insight. I wanted to just take a moment and thank you all for joining me tonight. I can't get this to share. There we go. I just ran outside to go see the Christmas star. It is pretty bright out there, so that was fun to observe. But thank you all for joining me this evening. Tonight's topic is the magic of the season. How do we carry that forward? Like, what causes the magic of the season? And is it possible for us to bring that throughout the entire year? So I was thinking about like holiday decorations, whatever holiday that you celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday it is. Usually the decorations go up. And there was a lot this year about putting decorations up earlier to make us feel better. A lot of us put our decorations up either on Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving. Hello, Anita. Either on Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving, because the idea was it made us feel more joyful. And it's true. When we decorate, it's like we have this connection to the decorations and it makes us feel joyful. So when we put the decorations around, it creates a spirit of the holiday, as well as some warmth, that energy that we have that connects. Now, here's the thing that I want to mention about the idea. So I know that I mentioned group consciousness. We've talked about group consciousness in Omega, how the dynamics of the group, on the first day, it's all a bunch of individuals, but by the time we come to the close of an Omega program, it's one big, huge group. They have connected. We have shared experiences. There's an underlying current, is what I like to say, that is created by that group, and that current creates the energy, and it kind of runs through everyone, and everyone feels connected. So when kindness, good deeds of kindness occur, studies have shown that oxytocin is released in our brain when you're doing a kind act, when you're doing a kind deed. Now, what they've discovered is not only is that oxytocin released when you're doing the deed, but if you're receiving the deed, as well as observing the deed, there's a release of oxytocin in our brains. And this is that feel-good experience. Abraham Maslow actually calls it a peak experience, where we have moments of awe and wonder and like rightness. It feels good, and it leads us towards gratitude, where we're grateful to be alive. Well, this occurs not only from good deeds, but now let's transfer that to the holidays. When we're in a holiday and we are exchanging gifts, we have that same release of oxytocin when we're giving a gift, if we're receiving a gift, as well as observing the gift. I mean, as a parent, how many times have we sat and just watched in joy as we're watching our children and grandchildren open their presents? Like, we get excited, and that oxytocin is running through us from the sheer observing of them having a gift. So we can understand why the season gives us this feeling, this feel-good feeling. Now, can this be replicated? And how can we carry it forward? So can it be replicated? Absolutely. There are many times when group consciousness, the vibration of a group, have been attempted to make an effect. Here in the United States, in 1985, May 25th, that was a Sunday, 1986, excuse me, there was an event called Hands Across America. I was actually part of this. It was an amazing event. Someone had the idea, if we can connect hands across the country and use that as an attempt, in this case, it was to unite to help world hunger, to stop world hunger. As a united nation, we would come together and help stop world hunger. So in 1985, in one day, for 15 minutes, approximately anywhere from 5 to 6.5 million people, 6.5 million people came together in one moment, held hands, and united. And I remember it was at a certain time that they played. I was standing in New York City. I was actually supposed to be on the George Washington Bridge, but my family was located on the expressway somewhere. So my friend and I, we went over and stood with my family. But it started at the George Washington Bridge. And the idea is it went across the country to Long Beach, California. And in that moment, I forgot, I think it was maybe noon, California time, they played the California radio station in New York City. Now this is 1985. The internet didn't exist. Sirius Radio didn't exist. So it was unheard of for a station in New York to be playing something that was being broadcast from California live. So that to me was like the first, like, whoa, we're listening to people in California at this moment. But I remember standing there, and at 12 o'clock they played the song We Are the World. And I think that's probably why I still get really choked up or very like touched when I hear that song, because I remember standing there 5 rows deep, standing there holding hands with strangers, singing at the top of our voices to We Are the World, just with the attempt to connect with human beings. And I will say that in that moment, I felt, for lack of a better term, the pulse of the group, the pulse, the energy of everybody around us. And really, that was, I don't even know how many years ago. This is 2020, over 35 years ago. That energy still today, I think, if not made an impact in the world or in the country, it made an impact for those of us who were standing there holding our hands. So that's the effect of group consciousness. The idea that the group bonded together and we were connected. And I can tell you, when I've had conversations with people and we talk about being there, there's that excitement, like, oh, kind of like if you ever run into an Omega graduate in the airport. You went to Omega, and usually people jump up and hug each other. Well, maybe not now because of COVID, but we used to get so excited because there's that shared experience. It's that underlying current that connects us, and really little words have to be spoken for us to feel it. It's like a generating energy that runs through us. I remember in 1993, Richard Gere, on his acceptance speech of an Oscar, he tried to do the same thing. He tried to use that moment, the group consciousness idea, and have a moment of silence for everyone to send vibrations over, it was China, addressing the human rights violations. So he took one moment of his 1 minute of his acceptance speech and went silent. He projected and was trying to use the network of everybody around. I mean, not just the network, NBC network, but the entire network of people observing this moment. So he was trying to tap into the observation aspect of giving, receiving, and observing. So when it comes to extending that and being part of the group, I know a lot of people understand being part of the group, but I found something really fascinating that I wanted to share with you. Studies actually have shown this. I was thinking about group meditations, like why are group meditations so impactful and so powerful? I did a Vipassana meditation in 2013, it was 2012. In 2012, I did a Vipassana meditation. And Vipassana is 10 days. I just did a 10 days of silent meditation with group. You met with the group 3 times during the day, and the rest of the day you were meditating and practice meditating, but you were nonverbal. It was all silent. And I will tell you, it was very, very powerful. I had better meditations when I was with the group than when I was on my own practicing. And so I came across this information today. I wanted to share it with you. It's from a yogi publication. It says that there's actually a real connection when people do a group meditation together, because you're tapping into the peaceful environment and the silence around you. In fact, you are literally tapping into other people's wavelengths. They have done testing with EEGs and have discovered that when there's a group meditation, the brain waves synchronize. That just is incredible to me. And then there's another one where they talked about the power in numbers, how studies show that there's a ripple effect when there's a group of meditation happening, when there's a bunch of people meditating together, that space and that energy starts to seep through and affects everything in its environment. And here's the thing that was absolutely incredible. There was an experiment done. They called it the Maharishi effect. It was in Merseyside, England, and they had a number of people that practiced meditation in from 1988 to 1991. And during that time, the crime rate in Merseyside, England dropped drastically compared to another control group in another part of England, same crime rate and everything. The only thing that was different was the group that was meditating. So Merseyside went from the third highest crime rate community to the lowest ranked in England during that time period of people, and it was just people meditating. That was the only difference. So that they did it was a controlled group. You know, they had the police practices, local economies, demographics, everything was done. But the idea is because the group in that environment affected the community. So that brings me back to the topic of, can we take the spirit of joy and carry it forward, the spirit of the season, and carry this forward into 2021? Absolutely. We absolutely can. Now, I know that I've had some conversations with people and they don't want to take down their decorations because they feel like the decorations have made them feel better. That's okay if you want to, but I think the greatest thing would be to connect with like-minded individuals, as we talk about satsang, to connect with like-minded individuals and keep that energy going. Continue with gratitude. Gratitude is one of the best things that you can do to help elevate your vibration. So reaching out and connecting to a gratitude group on Facebook, to connect with like-minded individuals, as I've already stated. Book clubs are another wonderful way to engage and connect and spread the energy around. I just received a couple of Christmas cards in the mail today. When we send, you know, when you get that, you get all excited and you have that connection with the individual. So sending notes. Now, I know that's been difficult in 2020 because we haven't had the ability to connect physically. And as the numbers continue to rise, it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer before we actually can come to connect, but we still connect virtually. So we can definitely use our virtual access to connect with individuals. And of course, I'm a huge believer in kind acts, going out of our way to be of service and to give, you know, especially during the holiday seasons. We, you know, give to the needy a lot more, are a little bit kinder. We hope, well, again, interactions. I was going to say hold the door open for people, but maybe not so much anymore now. But there are more creative ways that we can use to carry this forward into 2021, where we can possibly tap into the group consciousness of, if you want to call it Omega, you want to call it gratitude, you want to call it spirit of the holiday. We can connect with individuals on different levels. So again, the idea would be to use the moments that we have practicing what we're speaking about. A book club would be another, I mentioned that, a book club, sending cheerful emails or text messages. Hey, I was just thinking about you, hope you're doing well. Making those connections to keep us current. You know, we are coming out of a very difficult, energy-wise period in history. And I'm not just talking about COVID. I'm talking about the political system that has infiltrated every aspect of our lives. Never in my lifetime have I been so affected by the political drama than as I have in this last election. And it's still going on. It's that political drama. So we have to be able to come out of that and shift away from that, not let that absorb me and change my energy. So one of the greatest ways to change our energy, again, is the gratitude. So I would encourage you to reach out, connect with gratitude groups on Facebook, on Instagram. Make sure that your social media impact, your footprint, is one of positivity rather than negativity. We could use social media for a positive experience rather than a negative one. Instead of ranting and raving, we could use our social media for connecting, for compassion, and for gratitude, the spread of joy, to be joyful, spreading it using our social media tools. So that is one way that we can continue to use the magic of the season and make it last year long. I mean, we could carry it within our own beings of our moments that we have. So thank you for joining me this evening. And I look forward to hearing from some of you. Obviously, the holidays, Hanukkah, I think has come to a close already. So for those of you who celebrated that, I hope you had a wonderful Hanukkah season. And for those of you who are getting ready for Christmas, that's on Friday. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and enjoying your moments with your family, whether you're giving, receiving, or observing. And I am, even though it is Christmas, I am going to jump online real quick with the coffee talk. Probably carry this forward because I think it's such a great topic. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Happy holidays to all of you. Bye now.